Bada bang, and welcome to the Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers. Hey, this is minute 76 we're going to be talking about.
That's right, Alex. You know how to say it in Italian?
Let me see. Minuto numero.
Correct.
70.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6?
Close. That's Spanish.
Sissy?
No.
Sise?
Simpler. 76.
Say shorter. That was the problem. Yeah. Anyway, yes. So what is it? 70.
76.
76.
That's it.
That means 76 in
Italian.
In Italian.
That's right. That's the spirit.
So minute 76, here's what happens. We're still in the Don's office, and Mikey presents his arguments for why he should kill the Turk and McCluskey. Mm-hmm. He says that they should plant a story about, they should not plant a story, I guess it's reveal that McCluskey is mixed up in the rackets. Mm-hmm. And the boys are convinced. And the last bit is Clemenza showing Mikey the gun that will be used to shoot the Turk. In how many minutes?
In 14 minutes.
Nice. Almost there.
It's perfect for us. They got an old-fashioned toilet.
Shoot the Turk and McCluskey too. How many days until you do? We're counting down. Come count with me. You ain't gonna miss the Turk or Paulie.
I know how to one.
We're counting down in this song. Michael and Enzo can't protect me very long.
For your father.
Shoot the Turk. Yeah, you'll break some laws. But in the morning, you won't have to show cause. We're counting down.
In just 14 minutes. I can't believe it. That's like 3 months.
Just 3 months. So you got 3 months to write the new song.
Not really that long.
The voting has been like crazy for the new theme song over on the Patreon page.
Yeah.
But
if you don't know what we're talking about, go to godfatherminute.com/support and you can vote, right? On which countdown we will create next.
Yes, which minute, which moment we will be counting down to.
Right.
Check that out. So Sonny, this is where Sonny continues his monologue that we started last week about like, oh, what do you think? You go shoot the guy from a mile away and all that stuff.
Yep.
And
it's a great whole onslaught of taunting.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Hey, what you gonna do, nice college boy? Hey, didn't want to get mixed up in the family business, huh? Now you want to gun down a police captain? Why? Because he slapped you in the face a little bit? I want to do it like Edward G. Robinson. Yeah, see? Hey, I got slapped in the face a little bit. Now you want to gun him down. Sure. But the reason I'm reading this is because there's a line coming up. What do you think this is, the Army, where you shoot him a mile away, you got to get up close like this, and bada bing, you blow the brains all over your nice Ivy League suit. Come here. Is this the first time that bada bing is used?
It's funny you mentioned that. I looked into the origin of bada bing.
Uh-huh.
And several places say it was popularized by James Caan in The Godfather. But my research as to where it came, the earliest usage was 1965. Do you know who Pat Cooper is? I know you're a big Howard Stern fan. He used to be on in the olden days. He was one of those Catskill type comedians.
Oh, okay.
He's very loud and very,
Anyway,
funny. So he in 1965 he had a comedy bit called The Italian Wedding. And the phrase "bada bing" does appear there. He's talking about found it on YouTube and listened to the whole comedy bit to try to hear the context of it.
Oh, funny.
The bit he's describing is when they're giving the envelopes. Strangely enough, when they're giving the envelopes to the bride and the groom about with the money and stuff, and he says, the people who are giving the envelopes, they never let go of the envelopes. You gotta be all bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, like pantomiming that, like he's in a tug of war with the
funny
with the people. And listening to the rest of the comedy thing, he did that kind of thing a lot, like go like, and there's all like, like putting in like phrases and things like that.
Funny.
So it's a lot closer to what Sonny did in the other minute, where you're going bada beep, bada boop, bada beep, like that kind of a thing. So,
wow.
So you wonder if was there a common thing?
Yeah.
Prior to this, was bada bing just like an Italian thing people said? Nothing indicated that was the case. The 65 was the earliest cited usage of it. But,
interesting. Well, thanks for doing that research and sharing. Do you think we should do not a shout out, but a lifeline? Is that what they call it? And phone Tony Consiglio for the next podcast? We'll ask and he'll answer. Maybe.
Sure, why not?
Maybe his parents will recognize, although they're from Sicily. It sounds more like an Italian American.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't get here until like 70 or something. So
yeah.
Anyway, we'll look into it.
It is a great line.
So according to Merriam-Webster, this is the definition of bada bing. It's used to emphasize something sudden, effortlessly achieved, or impressive. Would you say that's an accurate description of bada bing in this? Emphasize something sudden, effortlessly achieved, or impressive.
I don't think so. It's sudden, maybe, but not impressive. It's more like it's like a surprise.
Well, so sudden, yes.
Yeah, sudden, yes.
Not effortlessly achieved necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And impressive. I think impressive could.
Yeah, well, it depends what you mean by impressive.
Well, the amount of the fact that Mikey was able to shoot him in the throat.
Yeah,
that was a pretty impressive shot.
Yeah. Well, maybe. And what was the second one?
Something sudden, effortlessly achieved.
Effortlessly achieved. Maybe that one, because the way Sonny expresses it now, he's being sarcastic. Oh, you just walk right up and boom and bada bing. Like you just walk right up to him.
Yeah.
And he says something like that.
Yeah, he does. But
yeah.
But he says
what you mean,
but
it's
it's a bit more violent when he says it. Like bada bing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the actual blowing up of like the guts onto you. I feel like the bada bing refers to the clause after he says bada bing, which is now you got blood all over your Ivy League suit, rather than to him approaching Sollozzo and shooting.
So the bing is the blood spurting out on him. So this is the sudden violence of the action.
Yeah, he put the bing in the bada.
And of course, bada bing was taken on. Or the bing was taken on. Is it called the bada bing on The Sopranos, or is it just called the? I think it's called the bada bing.
I think it's the bada bing, but they refer to it as the bing.
As the bing, yeah. And so that was purposely evoking the
Pat Cooper stand up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Trying to get that whole.
Come on! Didn't Christopher do that all the time?
I think you're thinking of Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane on Dukes of Hazzard.
I'll kill them both.
Let's do a conversation between Roscoe P. Coltrane and
who is the mayor? Boss Hogg.
Oh, no, I was going to say...
He wasn't even the mayor, he was the boss.
He was the boss. No, I was going to say...
Roscoe and Sonny?
And Frankie Five Angels.
Oh, okay.
Stupid. So dumb. So the bada bing... Something else I was going to say about that, but... yeah, but obviously I think that made it very popular, though, because people say bada bing now all the time. He definitely did make it popular.
Yeah. So Mikey is trying to convince the crew that this is a good plan. They're laughing at him. They're teasing him. He's like, no, wait a minute. Where does it say you can't? Where does it say you can't kill a cop? But then he starts, Michael says, a crooked cop who got mixed up in the rackets and got what was coming to him. That's a terrific story. And we have newspaper people on the payroll, don't we, Tom? Tom nods. And they might like a story like that. Hagen says, they might. They just might. And it's an interesting expression on Tom's face. I can't tell if he's saying it if he's starting to believe that this really is a plausible plan, or whether he's kind of a la how the Copper regimes treated him, busting his balls earlier. Like, is it more that approach? Because the way Tom looks, he's kind of his head's up. He's grinning a little bit. I don't know if he's buying it at this point. How did you interpret his expression?
I think it was respect. I think because like Mikey wasn't just I'll kill him, like, and then but the fact that he had this kind of like thought out, like, okay, we know how to deal with the consequences and that stuff. I think Tom, as the kind of brains, was kind of like, that is kind of that might work.
Yeah.
Like he's skeptical but like curious.
Yeah. I guess his previous reaction when Mikey first suggested that he would kill them, Tom just kind of shrugged. He didn't know what to think. He was very hesitant to react at all. I think you're right, as you said in the previous minute, because Pop would just kill them all if they got Mikey involved.
Right, yeah.
So it's Dig is like, we can't even consider this as an option.
Yeah.
The old man's political protection, the old man won't stand for it, Sonny.
He would run for cover.
They'd all run for cover when Pop finds out.
Totally.
But I think you're right. He's starting to consider it because Tom's not a wartime consigliere, and he's like, wow, Michael's really thinking this through.
Yeah. So the other thing, there was 2 points we wanted to bring up from last week. Do you remember what yours was? Had to do with the whole Sonny.
Well, I talked about it. It was their reactions.
Oh, okay.
And why in the movie Sonny
Doesn't laugh
laugh first, and it's the Copper regimes who laugh first, but then in the book it is Sonny who leads the emotional response. So we addressed that one. You had one.
Yeah, I had one. Well, which is basically that in this context, Sonny is basically insecure and feels like vaguely threatened by the fact that Mikey took the straight route, and not only that, got like decorated as a war hero. Like they both kill people, but Mikey gets a medal for it, whereas Sonny is thought of as just like a thuggish thing. And so in this scene where he's like, I'll go up and I'll shoot them both, and Sonny's almost like he's like mad that and he's like dismissive of it. Oh, you're not shooting some guy from a mile away, implying that Michael, even when he was fighting, was like there was no one, like it wasn't bloody. It was just a very easy thing to do. And so Sonny's like hostile about it. He's trying to like downplay, like, oh, you think you know how to kill people? It's nothing like that. It's like our world, it's totally different. It's it's this kind of
and because you're saying he feels he's responding that way because he feels threatened that Mikey could potentially do well in this world, and therefore Sonny's position is threatened. Or more just sort of a brotherly competition, like, whoa, you think you're so tough.
Maybe more, I would say more of a brotherly competition. Because I'm sure he doesn't think, oh, Mikey's going to take over the family. But he could be saying, like, well, that's Pop and I, that's our thing. Mikey has his thing, but my thing with Pop is that we're both in the mob together. And then, so now Mikey's suddenly coming in here and thinking he can,
That's really interesting.
So
there is a bit,
and the fact that he gets all in his face and like he's touching his, like you said, he's like gesturing like he's going to slap his injured face and everything.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's great when Sonny too ends that taunting with Tom. He has to say to Tom, this is business. This man is taking it very personal, which is great because Sonny or Tom had just said that. to Sonny.
That's what makes it.
So I do need to read from the book because Puta writes quite a bit about this dynamic and what Sonny's thinking, and I think you're going to be surprised.
Ooh,
very different. Here we go. Page 133. Puzo writes.
So the book is different than the movie.
Yes.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie. The book is different. The book is different. The book is different than the movie. Yeah.
Page 133. Sonny had got over his laughing fit. I know you can do it, he said. I wasn't laughing at what you said. I was just laughing at how funny things turn out. I always said you were the toughest one in the family, tougher than the Don himself. You were the only one who could stand off the old man. I remember you when you were a kid. What a temper you had then. Hell, you even used to fight me, and I was a lot older than you. And Freddie had to beat the shit out of you at least once a week. Don't forget that Fredo in the book is bigger.
He's a
tougher.
musclehead, yeah.
And now Sollozzo has you figured for the soft touch in the family because you let McCluskey hit you without fighting back, and you wouldn't get mixed up in the family fights. He figures he got nothing to worry about if he meets you head to head. And McCluskey, too. He's got you figured for a yellow guinea. Sonny paused and then said softly, but you're Corleone after all, you son of a bitch. And I was the only one who knew it. I've been sitting here waiting for the last 3 days, ever since the old man got shot, waiting for you to crack out of that Ivy League war hero bullshit character you've been wearing. I've been waiting for you to become my right arm so we can kill those fucks that are trying to destroy our father and our family. And all it took was a sock on the jaw. How do you like that? Sonny made a comical gesture, a punch, and repeated, how do you like that?
So it's like the opposite of what I was saying.
Sonny knew all along that.
Or so he says.
Yeah, so he says. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it could be him just playing tough. I guess at this point he sees it's the right move, and so maybe he wants
a smart move.
It is the smart move. Yeah, Mikey was always the smarter one. So isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. I always assumed everyone in the family kind of wanted Mikey to not be involved in the family business, except for Pop, because you have the whole scene. Well, it's later in the movie.
Well, it is conflicting things, because earlier in the movie, the Don seems annoyed that he went and joined the army.
Yeah.
You know, he goes do miracles for strangers. You wear all these ribbons on your chest.
Christmas ribbons. What are you wearing these Christmas ribbons?
So that makes it seem like that the Don is kind of like mad that he joined it, but the movie makes it sound like he wanted him to do it because he didn't want Mikey to be part of the life.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is a stronger dramatic choice because it's better to have him going from not being involved at all to being to like fulfilling his destiny as the you know, crime lord or whatever.
Yeah, and having it that way was a compromise that Puzo made in order for, in Godfather 3, he got to do whatever he wanted. Remember?
Yeah.
Coppola's like, listen, we're gonna have Mikey. No one wants Mikey to be mixed up in the business, and he gets pulled in. And Puzo's like, all right, but I get to do whatever I want in Godfather. I get to do whatever I want in Godfather 3. Is that okay? Like, yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Zaza. And Puzo turns to the camera at that point and goes, Zaza. Puzo.
One other funny thing I noticed is that when Sonny does the bada boom, bada bing, and he's putting the pantomiming the gun to his head,
it's great.
He has his pinky extended, so he looks like he's doing like the Spider-Man web shooter kind of pose.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means that Sonny is just so civilized that when he holds a gun, he sticks his pinky out like he's holding like a teacup, or whether
or he's doing that making fun of Mikey because Mikey's so soft that he goes up and he's holding a gun like that. You can't hold a gun like that.
Oh, right, because that's a good one. I like that.
I didn't notice that, though. That's really funny.
Or is it James Caan saying that about Al Pacino, that Al Pacino is too wimpy, that when he holds the gun, always layers in this thing?
Or because Sonny really knew that Fredo beat the hell out of Mikey when he was a kid. Maybe he's saying like he's the soft one.
Wow, there's. Do you think Fredo Fredo probably still beat up Mikey when they were kids?
When they were kids, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that scene at the end of GF2, the flashback on Pop's birthday, and I think Fredo does do some fake fighting with Sonny. Doesn't he come in and they do some jabs?
Oh, I thought that was Sonny doing it. But
I think Fredo actually started it.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see in a few minutes.
What's at the end of
400 minutes?
What's at the end of Godfather 2?
Did I already tell you? I proclaim.
You are publicly proclaiming.
I'm going to ride out this GF 1, 2, and 3 podcast
straight through.
We're going to do it. Yeah.
Whoa.
No. I mean all tonight.
Wait a minute. You're telling me we're going to do it?
Well, whoever will join me. So a couple other things.
Okay. What else you got?
Mike stares
What else you got in that bag of tricks over there?
It's a classic line. Mike stares at Sonny and says, "It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business."
Yeah.
Great line.
It's funny because I use that GIF a lot.
Oh,
so whenever I search for it, whenever when that picture came up, I totally knew what he was going to say when he was turning kind of over his shoulder, sort of, and saying it.
Do you find that there are settings in real life where you can use that in a fitting way.
If it's business, it's not personal. Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Like when we play board games together.
Mm-hmm. Is it better to say? Is it?
It's not personal.
Yeah.
That is the better way to say.
Is it better to do Hagen's delivery, Sonny's delivery? Oh, Tom, this man is taking it very, very personal.
Very personal.
Yeah. Or Mikey's very serious one. And are there any other people that use it, or is it just those three?
Is this the only time Mikey says it?
Never ask me about my business, Kay. Yeah, it's
business.
different.
You can ask me about my personal. Just don't ask me about my business.
Just this one time. Is it true, Michael? Is it personal?
There are things that have been going on between men and women. Personal things.
So if you had to, so what's the best delivery? Michael's is a little serious. I'm talking about in everyday applications. You go to the supermarket, you're interacting with the cashier.
I think Mikey's is because Tom's is yelling. So you can't do that one.
Yeah.
And then the Sonny's is like, I guess you're saying it to a third party.
Yeah, he's just having
taking
fun.
it very personal.
Oh, Tom, he's taking it. And you could insert the name of someone else. Like, oh, Chuck, my brother Alex, he's taking it.
Right.
His
So,
business, but
so
he's
that
taking
one
it
you
very
need
personal.
3 people for it to work.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go with the classic.
Okay.
The Michael Corleone.
Does the Don ever say that line?
You know, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think he ever does.
No.
Unless it's in like Godfather 2 or something.
Personal.
And in 2 he does say, I'm gonna make him an offer I can't refuse.
Yeah, that's right.
Like this, or like the birth of his catchphrase.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what if you're gonna do if he refuses your offer? He's like, I hadn't thought of that. I know. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. That's a great idea, Dom. So
That's a great idea. Maybe we can do that in one of the bonus episodes some days. Come up with the lines that lead to the iconic ones.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like the rough drafts of them and stuff like that.
Like, Peter, you ate all the cannoli from the party last night. Yeah. Don't forget the cannoli.
Oh, like the scenes, like it would be there would be a scene beforehand.
Exactly,
Of
yeah.
Clemenza eating all the cannoli.
Yeah, what leads up to the line?
And she'd be like, "Oh, is there any cannoli left?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I ate the last one." She's like, "No, when you go out, get some more tomorrow when you go out."
Yeah. And then as he's leaving, it's, don't forget the cannoli.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Well, we should save that for bonus content
Yeah.
material. Do we have any other regular content? We got to rate this minute also.
Yeah, I think I got, let's see.
You got another thing? You got another thing for minute 76?
Let me see. In the book. So one other difference between the book and the movie. In the movie, it's Clemenza who's walking Mikey through the instructions for when he gets into the restaurant. Mm-hmm. That's in our next minute. It's not here. Mm-hmm. But in the book, it's in this scene where they actually decide that Mikey's going to be the one. Sonny is the one who starts giving the details. He's like, yeah, Clemenza, make sure it's a short barrel, has lots of blasting power, doesn't have to be accurate because he's going to be up close. Mm-hmm. Mikey, make sure you shoot, you drop the gun on the floor and walk out. Make sure that
He says it immediately?
right then and there.
Wow, they really...
Right after all the stuff we just talked
Yeah.
about. Like, I think once he confirmed and accepted, once Sonny accepted that that's going to be the plan, he's like, all right, war details.
Right. Because for him, it's just like second nature.
Yeah,
He knows
whereas
like, what
Tom's
to
like,
do.
well, Sonny, I don't understand. I'm not a one-time consigliere. Tom, you're taking this
file a
very
brief.
personal.
I'm not a wartime concierge. So both in both the book and the movie, then Clemenza is the one put in charge of educating
Yes.
Mikey on how to shoot and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think in the movie we don't see, in the book it says Sonny assigns Clemenza the task?
Yes.
But why do you think they do? Why do you think Clemenza does it as opposed to like?
I wonder if Sonny already suspects that Fish is the traitor.
No,
Maybe.
no way.
No, not this early.
I don't think so, because Michael doesn't pick up on it, and he's a much better strategist than Sonny is.
I know we were,
And plus, it's like years later when the fish turns on him.
when the fish goes bad.
Yeah, it takes like years for that fish to go bad.
I think we just named our episode
Yeah.
When Fish Goes Bad.
Write that down so we don't forget.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but remember we had that conspiracy theory that Tessio for a long time was growing disgruntled.
Oh, actually, and also that he was an undercover cop.
Fish? Oh, that's
Yeah, that he's fish.
Barney. It's perfect. I'll go undercover with this family, Barney. But one other point to add to that conspiracy theory, when in this actual scene, when they come up with this plan, Tessio volunteers immediately to be the one to drive Mikey to the place where Sollozzo will pick him up.
Right.
So he's
He's
sort of like inserting himself more into the interactions with the Turk.
And isn't
Maybe
Tessio
because
the one? Is Tessio the one who says who reveals where it's going to be, or does someone else say, "Oh, it's supposed to be at"?
Later, it's their inside man at the police precinct, Phillips.
Oh, right. He says,
Damn it, Phil. Is it Phil? Phil? Is that the McCluskey? Damn it, Phil. I said take him in.
"Oh, it's that."
It is
You think
that same guy.
It is.
It is,
He's
yeah.
a war hero, Captain.
Yeah, that's him.
guy? Oh, that's funny.
That's their inside
Is it
man.
Phil? It doesn't sound
I
right.
think it's Phil. So I take him in, Phil. Damn it, Phil.
All right. Let's keep saying different proclamations
Damn
of
it,
Phil.
Chuck. Chuck, I said take him in, damn it. take him out and get them the hell out of here.
Oh, we have to do our dueling McCluskey and Waltz.
Oh, yeah, we got to do it. Where was I going with that whole thing? It's the inside man in the police precinct that later calls him. And Sonny picks up the phone and says, "Yeah, that was our inside man. He said it's going to be at..."
And that's when Tessio. Oh, it's
And
like
that's when Tessio says, "It's perfect.
Yeah.
They got an old fashioned.
Yeah.
They got an old fashioned toilet."
So he knows it, but it's not like he wasn't the one who brought them the information.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's evidence. That's not any evidence
Yeah,
either way.
Not yet. Yeah.
But
It's perfect, Barney. All right, what else do I got? Let's see. Oh, I do have to read this from the book. It's really funny. So Sonny tells Mikey, now that they've confirmed the plan, Sonny tells Mikey, "Hey, and don't go telling your don't go saying any goodbyes to your girlfriend. We'll make sure afterward that we let her know you're gone." And Mikey's kind of like, "Well, of course I'm not going to tell her. Like, I'm not that stupid."
Oh, is that what he says?
Well, yeah, and he said, so Michael said with a grin, "What the hell do you mean, a rookie? I listened to the old man just as hard as you did. How do you think I got so smart?" They both laughed. I just wanted to point that out.
Do you think he said smart?
Everyone's all self-conscious about how smart they are.
Or I thought that that was a subtle making fun. That was their inside joke about how dumb Fredo is, because they're like, "Oh, what's smart?"
Yeah, and that's why they both laugh.
Yeah,
It says
they both laugh.
Everyone in the room laughs. And Fredo's in the room.
What's so funny, guys? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. The end of the chapter is the next paragraph. Hagen poured drinks for everyone. He looked a little glum. The statesman forced to go to war. The lawyer forced to go to law.
To law?
To law. I'm not sure what he means by that.
Is there another line after it or something?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, because Hagen was now going to... Yeah, earlier they wrote that now that they confirmed the plan, Hagen was going to be the one to start making arrangements in Sicily for him to like be protected and all that.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how that's law, but maybe that's what he meant by it.
Sicilian law.
Yeah. And then Tom says at the end, well, anyway, now we know what we're going to do, he said.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. So I guess he got over the idea that Pop's going to freak out and kill everyone.
Well, I guess also as a concierge, like once a decision is made,
yeah.
like, although I guess that didn't work with Sonny. He definitely argued against Sonny. He didn't just do whatever Sonny said.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway,
that line about, I like your idea that that's their inside joke about Fredo not being smart. But do you think it really was that maybe Sonny, being the oldest brother, was always busting all the brothers Chop saying, hey, oh, he's smart, and pushing him and punching him and stuff. So they all grew up kind of like, I'm smart, protecting themselves.
Well, or it's Mikey's way of kind of reconciling them, because wasn't Sonny just saying like, oh, is this where he says, would you go to college to get stupid? When does that happen?
No, that's in the flashback. That's before.
Mikey that's right.
Goes,
that's yeah. So anyway, so and clearly, but Sonny keeps bringing up college and stuff. So maybe this way is saying, that's how I got smart, is because we both were the same. Like what really counts is what Pop said. That that's how I got smart. Nothing with college.
Yeah.
So and they're kind of like, yeah, Fredo's so dumb.
They both laughed. That's great. What else do I got? Oh, I do think it's cool how it cuts right to the gun then.
Yeah, it's
basically it's like boom, it's right there.
Yeah.
And just the gun. You don't see anyone's
close
face.
up of with the tape.
No
on.
wasted time discussing it. And Clemenza's first line is, it's as cold as they come.
Right.
Referring to the gun, but really to Mikey, because the previous shot was Mikey staring at Sonny saying, it's all business.
It's not personal.
Yeah, it's not business. Personal. And then it shows the gun, and then it's as cold as it comes.
Yeah, it's good. He's a good filmmaker.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he put all of his cinematographics. And how do you say that?
Cinematographics.
Cinematographic. He put all his film capital into GF1, and then that's why he put all the junk and Puzo's crazy ideas in GF3. It's in the contract.
They have a contract, no matter how small it is.
They got a contract.
What would you rate this minute?
It's kind of transition minute, yet Mikey says it's the whole thing that's it's business is not personal, Sonny. That's a classic line, although that was just said twice in previous minutes. So,
it was said twice. This is the third time.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Rule of thirds.
Yeah, exactly. It's Tom. I wonder if there is a progression. Tom says it for serious, like, Sonny, take this into consideration. Your father wouldn't have done shooting your father was business. It wasn't.
And then Sonny says it kind of sarcastically
to Mike. And Mikey says it seriously back to Sonny.
I think when Sonny says it's sarcastic to Mikey and it's sarcastic to Tom. Because he's trying, he's trying to say like, oh, you were, getting so fixated on this, so
Tom, you should bust his chops. He's taking it very personal.
Yeah, you're right, and that and Mikey is just the calm, as cold as they come.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm going to give it 5 stars.
Whoa, interesting.
You got Bada Bing. You got...
Bada Bing's in there.
You got...
the whole Ivy League suit.
Yeah.
The
newspapers will be interested in a story like that.
Definitely.
They just might. And mixed up in the rackets.
And as a story, this is probably one of the most important turning points, because Mikey... This is the first time where Mikey exerts influence over members of his own family, really. Right. I mean, he made that plan, sold it to them,
right? And
what a plan involving you sold it to me 5. I forgot we were going to say it at the same time.
Oh, right.
Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
5. Excellent. So it's a 10, really.
Oh, up to 10?
No, we should add our scores.
Oh yeah, we can
scale 1 to 10.
Let's start over. Now that we're doing that, let's say it simultaneously and let's start over.
Okay. 1.
No, I mean the whole series, the whole. Start from minute 1.
Oh, I don't remember. I'll have to go back and listen to him.
All right.
That's it. Stick around. We got some good stuff for the bonus content.
Yes.
Alex is going to talk about Reds. He saw
Finally.
He saw the movie Reds starring Diane K. Keaton. Right? Diane K. Adams Keaton. I'm going to talk about, I saw 15 minutes of Godfather 3.
The next 15 minutes or the same 15 minutes again?
So this is Godfather minute podcast, but it's also Godfather 3 15-minute podcast.
Well, there are some minute shows that do that. They do bigger chunks.
Oh, big chunks. Okay.
Yeah. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think 5 minutes is the biggest chunk.
Should we continue like that just so we can get to that?
Yeah. Why don't we do like acts? Like first we do 1 minute, 1 show about 1 act, and then act 2 we do different, and then we're done. 3 episodes.
Okay. And then we can move on to all those other movies, by minute we wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we should do? We should try the veal. It's the best in the city.